Don't come into agreement with anything less than God's very best. And if it's something you want, I don't care how small it is, begin to speak it. Begin to speak the word of God over your life. Begin to declare and decree blessings over you and your family, over your children, no matter what you see in the present, no matter what somebody else's story is. Hi guys, this is Chiquita Robertson. And on today, I have a very special treat for you all. I'm going to talk about what you come into agreement with. And the reason why this is such a treat is because I'm going to share with you something that I've done over the years. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. But someone pointed it out to me. And ever since then, I've continued to do it. Sometimes I have to remind myself to do it. But it's this. And this is how I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down based on something that just happened today. So for many of you that know, today is E-Day. If you know what that means, you go and cast your vote. Earlier today, I was speaking with someone and I was sharing with them that, I needed to go vote. And they had already went and voted and they had to stand in line. And so they actually go to the same precinct I go to. And so they said like, hey, I had to stand in line for 40 minutes. You're going to have to stand in line and you're going to have to wait. And I immediately said, no, I do not come into agreement with that. I will not be waiting in a long line. Basically, I was just sharing with them, I'm not coming to agreement with that. I'm not going to wait in a long line. I'm going to speak that, hey, I'm going in. I'm going to be in there and out really quickly. And so they kind of smirked and laughed like, oh, okay. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm going to stand on what I said. And about 1:35, and I'm like, okay, I need to go ahead and transition and get up to the precinct to vote. So I went, and right before I left, I was like, Lord, I really want to be back at my house no later than 2:00. And I want to be in and out, like if I, like in and out. If I have to wait, no more than about 15 minutes. And I'm like in my mind saying this, and probably some of it I was verbalizing to myself as well. Now, when I arrived, the parking lot had cars and vehicles there, but something kind of told me like, hey, that's for the construction that's taking place right next door to where I had to go vote. And so I went inside, and sure enough, I walked straight up to the table and handed my driver's license to the lady. I was in and out in a matter of probably less than 5 minutes. It probably took longer for her to write down my name, repeat my name so that they can make note of it, and walk me over to the voting booth. And so, that was just such a testimony. So as soon as I got in my car, I sent a text to the person who had told me, basically I would be waiting. And I said, look at God. I said, thank God for spoken word ministry. And I said, I was in and out in less than 10 minutes. I said, probably more like 5 minutes. And it was such a blessing to me to where I shared it with someone else. And they were like, I haven't went and voted yet. And I said, well, this is probably an ideal time. I said, think about it. In the morning time, most people are probably going to work late to go vote and things like that. Most people are trying to go in the morning, or they're going to go at lunchtime, or they're going to go much later in the evening after they get off of work. So I said the sweet time to go was probably between 1 and 3. Me just thinking about it would be the ideal time. It just worked out that way for me. So she said, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. Let me go. She was in the middle of something. And so she had someone, she said, I need you to watch over this while I go vote. And so the person she told that to was like, this is the worst time to go. And why would you go right now? This is the absolute worst time to go. And she said, she heard God tell her, like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to see if you're going to operate in spoken word ministry. I'm going to see if just what was shared with you, if you're going to, come into agreement with that instead of what this other person is saying. And so she said, you know what? I just went ahead and said, you know what? I'm going. So she left. She said, I got there. She said, literally, I walked in and walked straight up to the table to give my license so that I could go to the booth. And, she said, just look at God. That's such a testimony. In and of itself is the words that we speak, what we say. Are we going to come into agreement with doubt and disbelief? And you all know I've been talking about this in previous videos, so this is not the first time I'm talking about this. But what I share with you all is that I don't just tell you things and I'm not doing it. I literally share with you all things that I live by. and I speak things. I speak what I want to see happen and not what is happening. Sometimes I get frustrated and I have to check myself and I have to coach myself and I have to speak over myself. And I come back into like, okay, let me come back into alignment and do what I need to do and speak what I need to speak. And I want to encourage you all to do that. Don't come into agreement with anything less than God's very best. And if it's something you want, I don't care how small it is, begin to speak it. Begin to speak the word of God over your life. Begin to declare and decree blessings over you and your family, over your children, no matter what you see in the present, no matter what somebody else's story is, it does not have to be your story, okay? So I want to encourage you all to operate in spoken word ministry. But I'm gonna tell you this, your life needs to also come in alignment, in agreement with what you are speaking. You can't speak one thing and then do another thing. All right. So I want to encourage you all on that as well. There's some little disclaimers there, but I want to encourage you all to watch the words that come out of your mouth, watch your oral. Actually, it reminds me, I'm actually working on a project right now, something that I think will help a lot of people, especially in that area, and it's something that will definitely enrich the lives of so many people. And so I'll have more information coming out about that pretty soon. But until next time, you all be blessed.